Today we're diving into the timeless story of David and Goliath to uncover 5 powerful lessons that are still relevant today. This ancient tale, passed down through generations, tells the story of a young shepherd boy named David who faced off against a seemingly invincible giant, Goliath. It's a story of courage, faith, and the triumph of the human spirit against overwhelming odds. Over the course of this video, we'll delve into the depths of this epic encounter, uncovering the hidden wisdom woven into its fabric. We'll discover how the lessons learned by a shepherd boy centuries ago can still resonate in our modern lives, offering guidance and inspiration for our own journeys. The battlefield was set. The armies of Israel and the Philistines stood poised on the brink of war, and from the Philistine ranks, a giant emerged, Goliath. His name echoed with his size, striking fear into the hearts of even the bravest Israelite soldiers. For 40 days Goliath taunted the Israelites, his voice booming across the valley, challenging them to send a champion to fight him. But fear had paralyzed them. Who could stand against such a formidable foe? Enter David, a young shepherd sent by his father to bring provisions to his brothers serving in the Israelite army. David was a boy of the fields, accustomed to facing down lions and bears to protect his flock. But even for him, Goliath was a different beast altogether. Yet, when David heard Goliath's challenge and witnessed the fear that gripped his countrymen, something stirred within him. It wasn't arrogance or recklessness, but a deep-seated sense of justice and courage that refused to back down. David saw beyond Goliath's towering height and intimidating armor. He saw a bully, a tyrant who used fear to hold an entire army hostage. And David refused to let fear dictate his actions. He stepped forward, his voice calm but resolute. "I will go and fight this Philistine." His words were met with disbelief and concern. Even King Saul, impressed by David's spirit, tried to dissuade him, offering him armor and weapons. But David refused. He would face Goliath with the tools he knew best, the tools that had served him well in the field, his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones. These, along with his unwavering faith, were his true armor. David's courage wasn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. He teaches us that true bravery lies not in being fearless, but in facing our fears head-on, armed with the conviction of our hearts. As David stood before Goliath, the difference in their physical stature was undeniable. Goliath, a towering giant, clad in bronze and armed with a spear that seemed more like a ship's mast, and David, a young shepherd, armed with only his sling and 5 smooth stones. The onlookers must have thought David mad. What chance did he have against such a formidable opponent? But David held within him something more potent than any weapon, an unshakable faith in a power greater than himself. David's faith wasn't a blind hope or a naive belief. It was a deep-seated trust, forged through his experiences tending his father's flocks. He had seen the hand of God in the quiet solitude of the fields, in the protection he found from predators, in the guidance he received in times of uncertainty. This faith was his anchor, his source of strength and courage. It allowed him to see beyond the physical realm, beyond the imposing figure of Goliath, and recognize that true victory wasn't determined by size or strength, but by the power that resided within. As Goliath roared his threats, David stood firm, his voice filled with the quiet confidence of his faith. "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin," he declared, "but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." In that moment, David acknowledged a power that transcended the earthly realm, a power that dwarfed even the might of the giant standing before him. His faith wasn't a guarantee of victory, but it was a source of unwavering strength, a reminder that he wasn't alone in his battle. David's story teaches us that faith isn't about the absence of challenges, but about facing them with a steadfast belief in a power greater than ourselves. It's a reminder that even when we feel dwarfed by our problems, our faith can serve as our shield and our guide, empowering us to face the giants in our own lives. When facing a giant, one might assume that the only way to win is to fight fire with fire, to meet brute strength with equal or greater force. But David, the young shepherd, challenged this conventional wisdom. He chose to fight differently, to leverage his own unique strengths rather than trying to match Goliath's. David had spent his youth in the fields, honing his skills as a shepherd. He had learned to protect his flock from predators, using his sling with deadly accuracy. This simple tool, often overlooked in the face of traditional weaponry, was an extension of himself, a testament to his patience, precision, and deep understanding of his craft. When David refused King Saul's armor, he wasn't being naive or arrogant. He was simply acknowledging that his strength lay not in wielding a sword or wearing heavy armor, but in his mastery of the sling. He understood that true power resided not in conforming to conventional methods, but in embracing the tools and skills that felt most authentic to him. David's choice to face Goliath with his sling was a testament to his self-awareness. He recognized that his strength lay not in brute force, but in his agility, his precision, and his deep connection to the tools of his trade. He understood that true victory lay in leveraging his unique abilities, in fighting the battle on his own terms. This lesson resonates deeply in our own lives. We're all gifted with unique talents, skills, and perspectives. Our strength lies not in trying to be someone we're not, but in embracing our individuality, in honing our craft, and in approaching challenges with the tools that feel most authentic to us. David's story reminds us that there's power in being different, in embracing our uniqueness, and in trusting that our individual strengths, however unconventional they may seem, are enough to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. The odds were stacked against David, a young shepherd facing a seasoned warrior, a boy challenging a giant. The sheer audacity of David's decision to confront Goliath was enough to make even the most courageous hearts waver. But David possessed a quality even more powerful than his courage, an unwavering determination, a relentless pursuit of what he believed in. He had faced down lions and bears to protect his flock, and he would face down this giant with the same unwavering resolve. David's determination wasn't fueled by arrogance or recklessness, but by a deep-seated belief in his purpose. He saw Goliath's tyranny, the fear that gripped his people, and he refused to stand idly by. He would face this challenge, not for glory or recognition, but because it was the right thing to do. This unwavering spirit, this refusal to back down, is what fueled David's every step as he approached Goliath. He didn't allow the giant's taunts or the doubts of those around him to deter him. He remained focused on his purpose, his eyes fixed on the task at hand. David's story teaches us that true determination is not the absence of doubt, but the ability to push through it. It's about clinging to our purpose even when the path ahead seems impossible. It's about finding the strength to take one more step, to make one more effort, even when the odds seem insurmountable. David's unwavering gaze reminds us that persistence is the key to overcoming any obstacle. It's about trusting in our abilities, believing in our purpose, and never giving up, even when the giants in our lives seem insurmountable. Goliath, the mighty warrior, stood before David, his armor gleaming, his voice booming across the battlefield. He looked upon the young shepherd with disdain, seeing only a boy, a nuisance to be swatted aside. He underestimated his opponent, blinded by his own arrogance and consumed by his perception of strength. Goliath's downfall began not on the battlefield, but in the moments leading up to it, in the assumptions he made about David based solely on appearances. He saw David's youth, his lack of traditional armor, and dismissed him as a true threat. He failed to see the heart of a lion beating beneath the shepherd's tunic, the unwavering faith that fueled his every step. David, on the other hand, understood the power of humility. He didn't underestimate Goliath. He acknowledged the giant's strength, his experience, but he refused to let fear paralyze him. He approached the challenge with a quiet confidence, knowing that true strength wasn't always displayed in outward appearances. David's victory wasn't just a testament to his skill with a sling, but to his ability to see beyond the surface, to recognize that true power often resides in the most unassuming packages. He understood that humility, the willingness to learn, to adapt, and to never underestimate an opponent was a strength in itself. Goliath's story serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that arrogance and underestimation can blind us to the true potential of others and ourselves. It highlights the importance of approaching every situation, every individual, with a sense of humility, recognizing that true strength often lies beneath the surface. David's victory reminds us that the power of underestimation can be a double-edged sword. While it can lead to complacency and downfall for those who underestimate, it can also become a source of strength for those who are underestimated, fueling their determination and propelling them to achieve the extraordinary. If you found these lessons useful, please leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts or any questions you have about the story of David and Goliath. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful videos. The story of David and Goliath continues to resonate through the ages, a timeless reminder that true strength lies not in physical prowess, but in the courage of our convictions, the depth of our faith, and the unwavering pursuit of our purpose. May we all find inspiration in David's story, to face our own giants with courage, to embrace our unique strengths, and to never underestimate the power that resides within us.